So hello, for everybody,
Hello.
this is Emily Blair, and you're with AP Equipment Finance.
Yes,
Okay, and most importantly, how was your Vegas adventure?
it was fabulous. It was my first time attending the annual Route Consultants Expo. I've been to a couple of the smaller ones earlier this year,
Mhm.
and it was overwhelming. It was amazing to see everybody, and it was so cool to get into to sit in on the presentations, and I learned so much.
Agreed. We decided to go very last minute
Yeah.
and showed up that Friday and was just blown away. They did such a good job presenting it and how they just did such a great job of
Yes.
setting it up. The vibe was great. I hadn't been around. I mean, I'm line haul, right? I've always focused on just the line haul side of the business, but I had so many conversations and learned so much about the home delivery P&D side of the business, and met very cool contractors. So very happy that we went. I'm still recovering. We celebrated FedEx a little too hard that last day.
Same. And then flying home on Monday, I thought was Sunday, and I've been a day off all week.
Yeah, no, we left Sunday night and showed up Monday morning, and my whole I couldn't tell you. Today's Thursday. I'm pretty sure today's Thursday.
I think it is.
So tell us, we had a conversation today, and the first thing I thought of was, man, I wish we would have connected at the conference, because I think for me and what Lionel Solutions is trying to do, it was absolutely perfect. So if you would, tell us a little bit about, what business and who you're representing.
Absolutely. So I represent AP Equipment Financing, and we finance specifically for FedEx ground contractors. We do finance all sizes of trucks, so we do the P&D trucks as well. However, I've had the opportunity this year to learn a lot about line haul, and that's why I wanted to connect with you. That and the fact that I showed up in the background of your Vegas photo, which I told you was a sign. So
Uh-huh.
I knew we kept showing up in the same places, so I knew we needed to meet.
For sure, because you were in Dallas as well.
Correct, yes.
Okay, and so AP Finance, AP Equipment Financing, you guys only service FedEx contractors.
We have a different division that also works in the arbor and some different trucking industries, but my division is solely FedEx. So all I call on is FedEx contractors.
Okay, and I know in our conversation, I mean, one of the things we've struggled with for brand new businesses is the response we get from finance companies, whether it's leasing, whether it's an actual, buying trucks, is just, sorry, we can't work with you until you get to this point. And then you said something that, absolutely, geez, surprised me at this point. So will you explain? Let's talk specifically more on the line haul side. I think anybody who's in here is probably going to be interested more in the FedEx line haul side of the business, semi trucks, not the home delivery. So, if a new contractor comes to you, how can you help them?
With new FedEx contractors, we have had a lot of success getting trucks financed even before stand up. So we're very unique because we recognize the value of being a FedEx contractor. We know that you're going to start getting money the first week that you are contracting. Within days of stand up, you are going to be receiving income. So we are able to take a look at the value of the FedEx contract that you have been approved for, and we can look at the amount that we can finance based on, of course, we have to look at credit, we have to look at liquidity. There are other factors that come into play. But the fact that we have so much experience with FedEx really gives us an opportunity to look differently at a new contractor than the average bank.
Exciting. And from my perspective, it can be challenging to get somebody who's brand new financed. And if you do get them financed on a truck to run the business, the terms aren't wonderful. It's typically much shorter terms, and the rates are going to be higher, and the down payment is monstrous compared to what people were typically used to, 5, 10, 15% down. In cases we've seen 25, 35% down on these
Mm-hmm.
trucks, which isn't the worst thing in the world unless you just spent a massive amount of money buying into a business, and we're worried about cash flow. So a lot of people I work with, we're specifically targeting less expensive businesses, and maybe they're people who aren't sitting on a significant amount of cash, but are going to be very, very solid, very productive contractors from day one. And so, give me an example of someone the term that they could possibly see coming in working with you?
Standard terms for a used truck 2018 or newer is going to go out to 60 months. Rates are going to be contingent on credit. One thing I would like to mention is that with our financing, it is business only financing. So if you were to compare what we do to a local bank where you put your personal guarantee on it, it's going to show up on your personal credit, my rates are going to be higher. But for the type of financing that we're doing, which again is business credit, it does not impact your personal credit. Even the application is just a soft inquiry, which is a nice benefit because, as most entrepreneurs know, there are a lot of credit hits coming at you most of the time. So we do not participate in that. And then again, with the 60-month term, new contractors, contingent upon credit, but a lot of what I've seen is about 10%, is pretty common right now for the used trucks.
Fantastic. And even that, the rate, everyone wants the lowest rate buzzword.
Of course.
We're looking at it from cash flow. How
Yes.
much is that payment going to cost me every week? Everything we do is weekly when we think about it. But if you're looking at a $75,000 2018 Cascadia, 300 to 400,000 miles on that truck, perfect for many of the runs, solo dedicated type runs. We're not going to probably team that across the country, but maybe even a team butthead run, something dedicated, the perfect truck for it. And it's going to be significantly less than what our lease rates are going to be. And so I think from a cash flow perspective, what are we looking at?
That would be
$800.
So we'd be looking at about $1,600 a month, I believe, is the numbers that we ran on that is likely where you'd fall. So I think, again, comparing that with a rental, oh my gosh.
Oh, geez. That truck's only $1,600. Oh my God. I'm doing the numbers in my head now on runs that, like, on deals that we're currently working on. Like, that's under $400 a week, which, we're thinking about 52 weeks in a year as we're breaking down the numbers. So, okay, I'm sold. And the fact that we can get our new contractors in, I think, is also one thing that's going to give you a leg up on your competition.
And that's exactly why I reached out to you, because you are in the market of new contractors. And I feel that we have a lot of value there because, like I said, we understand the business and we just do have a different perspective than most lenders. What you and I had also discussed is that it's great to diversify. So even for contractors who aren't new, if you have lines of credits with banks, those are going to run out depending on your growth strategy. So it's always great to have different finance companies, available for you to contact, somebody in your back pocket when you've got somebody you're using. So I just think it can't hurt to get the name out there and to let linehaul contractors know that we want your business.
I certainly agreed. And with these numbers, you're not going to have a problem. Can I ask, is there a max? Is there a cap, especially to start, that you're looking at for somebody coming in?
That is going to be contingent on a lot of different factors. The primary factors are going to be credit score. We do consider the owner's credit score. Anybody who has 20% or more ownership will be looked at least. We look at the amount of cash that you have. We look at the experience that you bring. So if you have previous logistics experience, if you have previous management experience, things that have a lot of value, but not everybody necessarily considers, those matter to us.
So looking at the business and at the owners specifically of the business from a holistic level and kind of who they are and what they bring to the table.
Absolutely.
Sounds good. And I think we have 7, 8 now new contractors going through our boot camp as we speak. And I'm so happy. Thank you for reaching out to me, because every single one of them, I think, can benefit from using you guys in a certain way. There's those certain runs from a line haul perspective where we're telling people, hey, go lease a truck, and that's extremely expensive. But from a maintenance standpoint, I think an ease of ownership, especially at the very beginning, a lot of new contractors find comfort in that. I don't have to worry about maintenance. But there's always a time where we feel it comes to diversify, and especially when you start talking about utilizing depreciation to offset income in this space, owning trucks is almost mandatory to a certain extent. Are these simple interest amortized loans from the standpoint of you're just financing the trucks? It's not like you're putting up the money and then leasing the trucks to them so that the numbers work out differently when it comes time to do your taxes?
Correct. It's going to be a simple amortized loan structure so that you will use it for Section 179 or standard depreciation, depending on your needs for the year.
Bingo. You'll never find a group of people who knows every last detail about the tax code when it comes to 179 than a bunch of FedEx contractors. Phenomenal. Anything else you would like to share kind of about your services?
I think we've covered it. I mean, I just feel like you and I were uniquely suited to have this conversation because we do focus just on FedEx ground. And I know you are specific to line haul. And like I said, I've still been learning a lot in the line haul space this year, but I feel like there's a lot that I'm going to learn from you as I continue to follow you, and hopefully I'll be able to provide a service to your clients as well.
I'm going to read through a couple of questions. First, AIN non-Lee, any new routes for sale in Pennsylvania? You'd think that was somebody throwing me a softball. I swear I don't know this person. I have a BizQuest listing that's pending right now. They have to verify it before it goes up. I have a fantastic Pennsylvania-based business that I just put up. It's one of the better deals I've ever offered. And Winnie K, I think that's for you. Should I be watching this? Unsure, but I'm so happy to see you. You are amazing.
I think somehow I got onto my personal account instead of the business account that was supposed to happen. So sorry, guys.
So we are on your personal account. Hello. And your business account did join. They weren't on. Does AP do a lease to purchase method, or is this a true financing purchase, which I think?
True financing. Yeah, no lease to own. So it's similar to a lease to own. For tax purposes, it's going to be the same because they'd both be considered a capital lease if you wanted to call it a lease. It's just that there is no buyout at the end. There's no dollar out. There's no payment fund termination agreement. It's simply a financing agreement.
And you just own the truck?
Yes.
How long, okay, FedEx contractor comes to you and they need a truck because they just got a new run. Maybe they upgraded, maybe they were awarded a growth opportunity. Emily, I need a truck and I found this. How long can we get this deal done?
It depends on where the truck is from. If you're buying the truck from another FedEx contractor, there is going to be a site inspection involved. We're going to send somebody out just to make sure that the truck is where it's supposed to be, that it looks like it's supposed to look like. And that's just as much to protect you as it is to protect us. So we want to make sure that what you're buying is solid. So site inspection with a private party purchase from another contractor, going to add a day or two. But in general, I would say probably 4 business days is a good time to allow.
Oh my. We've spent months waiting for the financing part of this process. And and we're in New Jersey and lots of Pennsylvania, there's some weird title issues that I think we've gotten involved with. Yes.
That is a really good point, because if there is a title issue, obviously it's going to delay the transaction. So you need to have a title that clearly shows the chain of ownership, and the ownership currently is listed as the seller. So if you've got anything different, if you have to wait for a title transfer for someone who maybe forgot to do the title transfer when they purchased the vehicle, that certainly will add extra time.
Okay. Thank you very much. I am so
Rick.
happy you reached out to me. I think this is extremely valuable for especially the people that I'm working with right now. My clients are going to absolutely love your services, but me as a contractor who's been in for 10 years, my wheels are already spinning about especially the 18s that I can get and put them on that 60-month term. And there's when we're shopping for trucks, I think I know the year that we're looking for, that 17 may be a good deal, but to stretch it out an extra year or two for the 2018, that cash flow and that P&L is going to look a little sexier to start, especially for people who are just coming in. So
definitely.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm sure we will be talking a lot more, and I have no doubt I'll be kicking you a couple of clients before this week is out.
Well, thank you, Rick. I look forward to working with you and your clients, and please don't hesitate to reach out with questions. Is it okay if I just drop my contact information down in the comments? Would that be all right?
Without a doubt. And we will as well when we repost this for sure.
Cool.
But best way to contact you is there an email?
Yes, eblair@apfinancing.com. So just eblair, yep, at apfinancing.com.
Sounds good. I'm just taking my notes. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Talk to you later. Talk to you soon.
See you next time.